Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Aroca. Hey, this is your source for helping you to build cultures that last and to continue to build your personal leadership. So as I mentioned on Wednesday's video, I'm going to be taking time to kind of just review a little bit about my book, kind of just going through one chapter and just talking about that and giving you guys some insights and how it can relate to either building your personal leadership or building cultures that last. Okay. All right. So for those of you who haven't seen the previous video, this is my book, Live the Life You Have Always Imagined. Wrote it about 3 years ago. And it's been a blast. I love it. I just read it about 2 weeks ago. And anyway, it was pretty good. I had forgotten about some of the things that I'd written about. So this is a good refresher. And I think that it'll be helpful for all of you as well. The second chapter of the book is talking about courage. So you got to live the principle of having courage if you want to live the life you've always imagined. Guess what, folks? It is not easy to live the life you've always imagined. It's pretty tough, or at least it can be. So I wanted to read a quote by Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali says, and I quote, "He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life." I love that quote. Awesome quote. And it is so true. You got to be able to take some risks. Maybe small calculated risks at first, but they're risks nonetheless. So be thinking about what risks can you take? How can you have courage in the life that you are currently living? What courageous things are you guys doing as you live your life day to day? And are you taking note of these courageous acts? I hope that you are, because I believe that we all do courageous things. And I think we need to take notice of when we have courage, when we're being courageous in living our lives day to day. Let me share with you a couple of examples of showing courage. When I was very young, I grew up in Chile. We moved to the United States with my family at the age of 9. We moved to the state of Utah and been here ever since. Although Texas, I would love to live there. Okay. I always think that it must have taken extreme amount of courage for my parents to pack up all their stuff, pack up their 4 kids. How many of us were there at the time? Pack up 4 kids and move to another country. My mom was 8.5 months pregnant. It was a miracle that they even let her fly because she was so late in her pregnancy. Anyway, so my little brother, my youngest brother, was delivered here in the US of A. So he is what we call a little gringo. I always think of how much courage it must have taken for my parents to move here and to just uproot your family and move somewhere else. I mean, we didn't know the language. We couldn't speak English. We didn't know the culture. It was a total different way of life. So I had to have taken a great deal of courage. I don't remember, thinking to myself, wow, I'm being courageous because I'm moving to the United States. I never really looked at it that way. But, looking back at it now, it had to have taken a great deal of courage for my parents to do that. I mean, 8 years ago, I thought it took a lot of courage to move from a city that is 15 miles away to where I reside now, right? I was like, okay. I can't imagine moving to a different country where you don't know the culture, the customs, the food, the language. You don't know anything. And so that had to have taken a great deal of courage. So I want you to take note. I want you to take note of past courageous things that you have done. Maybe you're being very courageous right now. Maybe you're a single mom. I mean, hey, it takes a great deal of courage to be a single parent, to be a single mom. That's got to be really rough. My oldest sister went through that several years ago. Luckily, she found a great guy and she is remarried, but she spent many years as a single mom when her boys were very young. And that takes a great deal of courage to do that. It takes courage to chase your dreams. In the last video, on Wednesday's video, we talked about dreaming more and dreaming big and, dream big or go home, all that kind of stuff. Well, guess what? It takes courage to do that, because there are gonna be people in your life who tell you that you are a fool, that you're wasting your time, that you shouldn't dream about stupid things, that you need to get a real job, that you need to do this, you need to do that, and live to their expectations. Well, that's not what dreaming is about, right? So if we have big dreams, then you have to have the courage to live them. You got to take those first steps. Take and have the courage to live your dreams. Guys, it is critical that we show courage. Okay, so moving to a different country, being a single parent, it takes courage. Overcoming addiction takes a great deal of courage. I have several friends who are in a 12-step program here locally who are trying to overcome some sort of addiction. That, ladies and gentlemen, takes a lot of courage. My nephew had a dream of becoming a firefighter, and it was pretty awesome, right? It's a great dream. He could see himself doing it. He could visualize, but things got tough. He came to my house once while he was at the fire academy, and he told me that he wanted to quit the fire program because it was too hard. There were certain tests that he couldn't pass. I believe one of the tests that he was really struggling with, there was like 20 knots, knots on a rope that you had to tie. You had to be able to tie like 20 knots or something like that under a specific amount of time. And if you didn't, then you didn't pass. You didn't, continue on in the program or something. He had taken it a couple of times, I believe, already, and he was up to his last opportunity of taking that, of passing that test. So he came to my house. He was very discouraged. We had a very tender moment. He wept, cried. I guess that's the same thing. And so we talked about it. We talked about what it takes, the courage that it takes to go, to show up and do it, and to perform at a high level. That takes courage. If everybody could do it, it wouldn't be called courage. It would be called something else. It would be called easy as pie, right? But it's not. It's called courage. You've got to have the courage to step up and to perform at a high level, to do the things that are hard, because we can do things that are hard. It's in us. It's within our DNA. It's who we are as human beings, as a human race. I tried to motivate him, inspire him. I gave him a picture that he had when he was a little boy, standing in fireman boots with a big fireman helmet on, smile from ear to ear. I gave him that, and I said, "Why do you want to be a firefighter?" And he gave me his why, and he talked about why he wanted to be a firefighter. And it was very compelling. It was very emotional. I said, okay, so you know what you need to do. You need to get your butt back to the fire academy, and you need to go pass that test. So, happy to report, he passed the test, became a firefighter, got a full-time job, was promoted to lieutenant. This past year, he was promoted to captain. How awesome is that? It is great, right? All because of dreaming more and showing courage. Having the courage to do things that are hard. See, we don't want to have a society where people dream big and they think, oh yeah, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to do. And then they lack the courage to go out and make it happen, to make it a reality. You got to have the courage to make it a reality. If you do that, if you exercise that courage, you will see that you will accomplish great things in your life. Now, once you start accomplishing great things and you show courage, guess what? Other people are going to take notice of your courage. Other people are going to want to be more like you. That, my friends, is personal leadership. When you are inspiring other people to greatness, when your example is helping other people to dream big, to have courage. I will leave the link to my book in the description. If you'd like, please go check it out. It's a very easy read. After all, a dyslexic wrote the book. So go check it out. Each principle, each chapter in the book is a different principle. So there are really two sections to the book. The first section is just kind of generalized principles that we should follow, and they all build on each other. Okay, like dreaming more and having courage. Okay, see how those two build on one another? Okay, so the second part of the book is about living the 4 principles that you need to finish bridging that gap. If you like the video, leave me a comment, like it, share it, tell your friends, help me grow this channel. I've had a lot of fun making videos, and I would love for you to help me grow the channel. Let's just do a giveaway, right? So I have a copy of my book right here. So if you share it and give me a thumbs up on the video, you will be entered to win a free copy of my book. Okay? So help me out. It's a great chance for you to get a great book for you to read. And we will see you guys next week. Take care.